there folks, Jason here again, and I wanted to give a quick update to my bolt action vlog, which I haven't done anything for in a while, and rather than me talk for just a little bit with a blank screen, I thought I'd just pop my the first bolt action model I ever finished, my Tiger 1, the Michael Wittmann Tiger, up there to give you something to look at while I ramble for a bit, and then I'm going to talk about my decision to enter the Great Bolt Action Paint-Off. Links below in the liner notes. So, a couple people have asked me why I haven't done anything with bolt action, and in case you haven't picked up on it, my kind of hobby focus, my hobby interests tend to vary quite a bit. So, I'll tend to focus on like one thing and do a lot of it for a couple weeks or a month, and then I'll get bored of it and I'll go shift to something else. And I guess that's good because it kind of avoids hobby burnout, at least to a certain degree. Lately I've been more focused on Hail Caesar. If you're a subscriber to my channel and you look at my videos before this one, you'll see an awful lot of Hail Caesar vlog updates and not that many bolt action ones. In fact, the last one I did was almost a month ago, where I painted a house, which technically isn't even a vehicle. So the last kind of officially bolt action update, I'm looking back here. Jeez, was it that long ago? Yeah, it was January 22nd. I did the Scout Car and the Pack 40. I really do like the Pack 40 a lot, but that's an awfully long time for me not having painted anything. And so I have been feeling guilty about not doing bolt action. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that I haven't done bolt action. One, I hate doing infantry. And two, the uniforms for the Germans really kind of throw me off. I guess it's a self-inflicted paranoia that I'm not painting things quickly enough, on top of the fact that I want to get the uniforms just right. So it takes me forever for each individual model. Now, sorry, I blanked out there for a second. Now, it's not like bolt action requires a ton of models. It's not Warhammer Fantasy or Hail Caesar. But I want to make sure I have them done right. So if you look back at some of my older videos, it took me forever to do like 5 regular infantry guys with rifles. And so I hope to speed that up a little bit, but it's kind of an evil cycle where if you don't paint off enough, it takes you a long time to paint, which means you don't want to paint, which means you never get better. So what I've kind of decided to do, and I'll talk about this more in kind of a general hobby update, is I'm going to set aside like a block of time, probably a couple weeks to a month, and just focus on one particular army. The other reason why I haven't focused quite as much on or why my hobby shifts around a lot, I guess, is it also depends on kind of what kind of gaming I'm getting in. I played a couple bolt action games with a guy I met here. He paints like a fiend, number one, and number two, he has like, I would say 2,000 to 3,000 points of every army already painted. So I can't bring my force to him because he likes to play really big games too. So my force isn't ready, and I really like playing with my own stuff because I know I put the time into it, and it's kind of the payoff for all the work and money that you spent on it. But that's the size of games he likes to play means that it's going to take me a while to catch up, and because I can use his models, that's even less reason for me to paint, on top of the fact that he's getting more and more interested in Hail Caesar. And if you think there's a lot of models in a bolt action game, Hail Caesar, I mean, you're talking like Warhammer Fantasy kind of levels. And that's an awful lot of painting to do. So I've been focusing on that. If you've seen the videos, that's another reason why, because I don't like fielding unpainted models. So I've been kind of pushing myself as much as I can to get a lot of Hail Caesar done. Here, watch this. I'm going to change up the video just to keep you guys from getting bored. Not that it's all that awesome, but something else, a different side to look at. So those, I mean, that's not necessarily a good excuse for why I haven't done things, but it is an explanation for why bolt action has suffered a bit, unfortunately. that being said, now I don't think I have that much of an excuse. Because I'm just looking at my hobby cabinet, and I'm not making the progress. I'm feeling more guilty about this thing. So I've got E-Tiger tank, 5 infantry, 2 commanders, a scout car, KFZ 222, and a Pack 40 painted up. So it's not even enough to play with, really. So I've kind of recommitted myself to focusing on bolt action. And one of the things that's really kind of got me interested is a couple folks on YouTube. So it's British Legion and Miniature Maniacs, Steve over there, have started the Great Bolt Action Paint-Off. Again, notes on the inside. And it's basically from March 1st to April 30th. It's try to get out as much stuff as you can while having fun doing it. And I think that that's great. I'm not going to be ready to start painting for a little while because I want to finish up. I've got a Hail Caesar, early Imperial Roman, Auxilia infantry unit to finish up. And I've got about 12-ish more models to paint, and after I have that done, I'm going to put that away for a while. So that'll probably take me, I don't know, the rest of the week. We might have another snow day coming up where I have to stay home with my son, and I can probably knock that off that day. I've got a bunch of other metal infantry and cavalry for Hail Caesar staring at me, but I really want to focus on the Hail Caesar. And this, the paint-off that British Legion and Steve are hosting is a good enough impetus for that. Now, I have a confession to make, and I don't want to make this appear like I'm showing off on how much stuff I have, but I acknowledge that I have a bit of a problem when it comes to buying models, and I got really excited about bolt action and sold off a bunch of my Warhammer Fantasy and other modeling stuff, and so I was flush up with cash for a while. And we've all got the stack of models that we want to get done. That's, you know, the shellfish hang, whatever you want to call it. My goal, I don't have a set goal for the Great Bolt Action Paint-Off. My personal goal is to try to get through as much of this pile as possible. You heard me say that I don't like painting infantry, so what I've decided to do is kind of alternate between models I don't like to paint as much with models I do like to paint as much. So I tend to not like infantry models, but I really like vehicles. So what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to kind of treat this as like a thermometer, right? With the stuff I'm more excited about painting down near the top of the thermometer, the end of the list of things I'm going to work through. And as the month goes on, once I'm done with the Hail Caesar unit, I'm going to start posting regular vlog updates when I get each of these models done. I'm going to make a little thermometer or something and keep track of my progress. And hopefully get through as much of this as possible, because I've got enough for a decent-sized army. That's my goal. Not to have the biggest army, not to have every German model out there, but I want to be able to have enough flexibility to field a force that I like, essentially. So I'm going to set the Tiger aside now, and we're going to go through and talk about the order of things. And I'm not sure if I'm going to post this order this time or what. So again, this isn't kind of to show off or anything. It's just my shelf of shame, my bolt action stuff that I need to make some progress on for my own sanity, my hobby sanity. So the first thing is something that I said I was going to work on the last time. This is an empty box. Is the German Veteran Grenadier Squad. I just like the way the models look. Oh, crazy glare. Sorry. I like the assault rifles. Obviously, this is a late war kind of force. I just like the fact that you could truck these guys up in something and just dump them out, and they're going to pour out a lot of shots. It just seems cool to me. I know a lot of the stuff that I picked may not be awesome for gaming purposes, but I like it, and that's all that matters. So the reason why box empty is I said I assembled these guys before, and they are primed. I have made no progress in painting them. So this is going to be the first thing I'm going to do, and I'll post an update later when I'm ready to start the official bolt action paint off. And I'm tempted to try to shoot for, again, look at the liner notes, look at the Facebook page. They're having a kind of a best painted or a bit of a competition, I'm going to try to field my bolt action force in this. I am not the best painter, but that's going to keep me motivated. So this is going to be the first unit I get done. And if I get this unit done, I'm going to then move on to, wait for it, the Kubelwagen. Kubelwagen. I feel like because I've slacked off a lot, I don't get a big reward in the beginning. So it is a vehicle, yes, but it's not an awesome vehicle. Unless, I'm sorry if I offended any Kubelwagen lovers here. It's just going to be a nice little command car for the commanders or whatever. So that's a good place to start, right? So that'll be what I do second if I finish the veteran Panzer Grenadiers. So we're going to go to the Kubelwagen, and then we're going to go back and do some more infantry. And so what am I going to do next? I've got, after the Kubelwagen, I've got 120 millimeter heavy mortar and a 75 millimeter light artillery. So we'll have some fire support for the army next after that. And then once that's over, and I'm looking around for the model now that I meant to grab, and I maybe didn't, or I stuck it in here someplace else. Alright, well, let's switch the order around a little bit, I guess. And then after that, kind of had this all staged, and I goofed up my staging. I'm going to paint up this, an Opel Blitz, which I kind of looked at already, and it's a bit warped. It's a resin piece, but we'll do that next. So you can see the vehicles are slowly getting cooler, in my mind at least. And I believe that you should have transport for a lot of your troops, even if the Germans had a lot of horses and stuff. So that'll be after the light artillery and heavy mortar. And after that, we're going to go back and we're going to finish up probably at least the 10-man squad of the late war German infantry that I started painting. If you look back, I took the 5 guys out and assembled a kind of a test squad. I'm going to finish these guys up and at least do at least a full squad of 10. So that would give me 2 full squads if I've got the assault or the Panzer Grenadiers with assault rifles, and I've got these guys with rifles. That would give me 10. And then I'll probably have like the bodyguard or the extra guy that goes along with, you know, 2nd or 1st lieutenant or something like that. So that will be after the Opel Blitz to finish those guys up. And then we're going to go on to, because that's going to be a painful thing, STUG. I like tanks and I like assault guns. So I'm going to paint this up after I finish up the box, or a good chunk of the box, of the late war German infantry. Some of this stuff I'm going to try playing around with winter camouflage, even though the Tiger is not painted with it. We'll see, because I do want to try to improve my painting capabilities while I'm doing this. So after the STUG, we're going to go over and oops. And so I've got 2 models here. We've got the motorcycle. This will be a pretty easy one. So we've got the motorcycle, and then an 81 millimeter medium. Oops, hope it'll be on the camera. Kradschutzen and medium mortar team. So those should be pretty simple ones to knock out quickly, I hope. And then we're going to go, and this is something I already assembled and talked about. We're going to finish up and paint the Puma. I just think the Puma is cool. It's got a big gun and it's got recon. Pretty sweet. So that's kind of a reward, you know, painting this stuff up. And I'll do summaries on each of these and maybe talk about how I paint these guys up. So it's a pretty cool kit. I don't like the wheels on it that come on it. But cool kit overall, cool model. And then after I finish up the Puma, we're going to paint something pretty simple. These are a different set of miniatures. These aren't Warlord, so I might not paint these or might not include them in the competition. These are from Artizan Designs. Is just a couple snipers. Because who doesn't like snipers, right? But that should be a pretty quick, there's only 4 guys there, so that should be a pretty quick one to paint. And after that, we're going to move on to, again, not the most, maybe not the most list awesome choices, but I really like the Pioneers. Who doesn't like combat engineers? If you do, you're crazy. If you don't like them, you're crazy. So I don't know if I'm going to do, so you get 31 of these guys. I might just do a squad. 31 is an awful lot to paint up, even for me, if I'm super motivated. But we're going to do at least a squad of these guys, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to outfit which ones I'm going to paint first. But that's going to come after the snipers. So there's another kind of a big infantry unit. And then because these guys need a ride, we are going to do their Pionierwagen. Which I will treat as both just a regular Kfz 251, or I could use it as the one with the anti-tank gun mounted on the roof. Treat it as a half-track. My opponent's, the guy I play with, is cool with that. So again, infantry and then vehicle. So I think this would be a lot of fun to paint. And then second to last, because I really like painting tanks, Panzer IV. Not a big fan necessarily of the Panther, at least right now. So this one is kind of the second to last big reward that I'm going to be doing. And I think it would be nice to be able to play Tank Wars. So I think this would go well with the Tiger and some of the other stuff. I've also got a couple of extra Michael Wittmann Tigers that I'm going to paint up. Of course, I bought those all before I knew the plastic Tiger one was going to come out. But that's neither here nor there. Stay focused on this. So this will be the second to last. And then I went out and I stumbled on this on the Warlord website. And unfortunately it came in like a super beat up box. Not show my address here. But what I purchased, and I haven't seen this advertised that much, and it's not generally played all that much, is, but I think it's an awesome gun, iconic. I picked up a 88mm Flak 36 and the Prime Mover kit deal. So super big half track. I forget the name of this, but then also the so there's the wheels and everything for it, and then the Pack 36. Because who doesn't like a AAA gun that can also blow the crap out of armored vehicles? That's just awesome. And then you've got the crew and the limbers that go along with it. So I picked up that deal off the Warlord website. I don't see a lot of people play that, but that's going to kind of be my big reward. Take some time on that. My big reward for finishing this up. And if I have most of these things, and I have a couple other, I have like a medic and forward artillery observer and forward air observer. Those are the things. I just wasn't that excited about painting up the models. So that's my plan of attack, and so you can see, at least in my mind, everything gets cooler the longer I wait. I'm going to put the painted model back up here, just for something to look at. Does everybody else make noises when they traverse the turrets of their guns, or clankety clank of tanks moving? I do, at least. So that's the plan. That's going to be my series of entries. That's my proposed goal for the Great Bolt Action Paint-Off. So consider this video my my throwing down the gauntlet, hitting myself with the gauntlet, and trying to get myself engaged, and using this to keep myself motivated and on track. Is I've gone out to the YouTube community and said I'm going to do this, and if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to at least do my best, barring real life issues, to make some major progress on this. So please give a look to the Great Bolt Action Paint-Off. Like I said, it's probably take me a good chunk of this week to finish up the Hail Caesar stuff, and then I'm going to get to work as quickly as possible. And I'm going to keep track somehow of the progress that I'm making through the vlog series. So if you have any questions, comments, and suggestions, I would, of course, welcome them. And I hope all you are having a great week, and hope to show you some progress soon. So keep on wargaming.